Hello friends, Rychen Jones, your wealth creating realtor here for another edition of Wealthy Wednesday. Today's topic is 3 reasons now may be the best time to buy your next home, your first home, or potentially your next investment property. Now I've heard all the reasons why it's not a great time to buy a home. Here's a couple of them. Prices are too high. I'm going to wait until the market crashes. Interest rates are too high. I'm going to wait until they come back down again. It's a seller's market. I'm going to wait because I want to get something under its actual value. Now, the thing is, it doesn't matter what year it is or where we are in the market cycle. The reasons are always the same for not buying a property. Let me give you a couple of reasons why it would be a good time to consider buying your next one. First, in this time of year, there's less competition out there. There's fewer buyers out looking. People typically aren't moving because they're in the middle of a school year or whatever it may be. So you actually have a greater chance of getting the house you want because there's fewer buyers statistically competing for this. We know this statistically. We can look at the data of homes being sold per month. We can look at the data of number of homes being shown in an area. We know there are fewer buyers out in the market at this time of the year. Secondly, there's increased inventory. Now, this is relative to what we've seen in the past few years. There's increased inventory, the more homes to look at. Now, as a buyer, that gives you the opportunity to see not just one home on the day it hits the market, but maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 different homes at one time. And maybe you can even go back and see that home a second time later on in the week or a few days later to make sure it's the right one for you. That hasn't always been the case in the last couple of years because we've been in a very heavy seller's market, and now that opportunity is there for you as a buyer. The third reason, in this market that we're in right now, things have shifted, things have changed, and sellers are now paying closing costs for buyers if their agent negotiates for them. Now, what does that do for you as a buyer? How can you use those seller paid concessions or those seller paid closing costs? Well, you can buy your interest rate down, get your payment lower. Potentially, you could buy out the private mortgage insurance and get your payment lower. It might be less money out of your pocket at closing, which could then go towards inspection repairs or home updates that maybe you want to make on the home right when you move in. Those are your 3 reasons right now. Less competition among buyers, increased inventory relative to what we've seen, and the potential for your seller to pay some of your closing costs to either lower your payment or do other things with that money that might be beneficial for you for the home you're going to be in for the next couple of years. If you've been on the fence about buying a home or wondering if time is right for you, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's get you the best information so that you can then make the best decision for you and your family. Thanks for tuning in. If you know someone who would benefit from this week's video, please share it with them. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, so you don't ever miss an episode of Wealthy Wednesday, and we'll talk to you next week.